Hello there, happy Monday to you. How was your weekend? Was it enjoyable? Mine was. I spent some time on the beach, man. I soaked up some sun, which you would have known already if you follow me on Instagram at rabona.tv. Get with the program, dog. But hey, we back. I've got some great videos planned for you guys this week. Hopefully great, I should say, on Wolves and some more Croatia World Cup content. And we'll get started now with some transfer talk to kick the week off. We never do that. Going over rumors, gossip, news, and talking about whether these things make sense or are whack. Lewandowski wants to go to Real Madrid, apparently Bayern will listen to offers of around £70 million. He's been linked with Manchester United as well, but that seems unlikely to me given Mourinho's belief in Romelu Lukaku. Lewandowski going to Real Madrid makes a little more sense to me given the frequency in which these two entities are always linked to each other. Plus, let's talk a little bit of logic here. For Lewandowski in particular, I think that he will actually be looking to move this summer, if any summer, as at 29 years old, he probably has one more big move left in his career. And with the constant link to Real Madrid throughout, maybe his head has been turned at last. Or perhaps it was always turned, but he was just unwilling to push for a move while the going was good at Bayern Munich. Well, that's what Marca would have you believe anyway, as they, of course, claimed that Lewandowski has been, quote, pushing to leave Bayern Munich and continues to dream of signing for Real Madrid. Now, given the fact that Ronaldo was gone and Madrid have some extra cash laying around from that, they could be looking to help smooth over the transition into the post-Ronaldo era with a nice new striker for Julian Lopetegui. There were rumors that Karim Benzema was on his way out, but whether that happens or not, Lewandowski should be a priority for Real, or at least a potent striker of that ilk that can help share the load and fill the hole left by Ronaldo goals-wise. Also, Bayern Munich's new manager Niko Kovac spoke about Lewandowski today, saying, quote, "It's true that Robert toys with going elsewhere. One thing is what he wants and the other is what we want. It's our decision. Robert has a contract, I don't know how long, and will stay here as long as possible." All officers, yeah, we've got a hostage situation in Munich. Anyway, if Lopetegui rolls the dice on Benzema, he could end up with the 2017-2018 Benzema again, who had his worst season yet since his debut with Real Madrid. I personally can't trust Benzema anymore. He seems a little bit past it, but I would love to see him revive his career. It's sad seeing a human being turn into a meme right before your eyes. I wouldn't wish that reality upon anyone. Another potential candidate seems to be Edinson Cavani, as the Uruguayan, who has an incredible strike rate for both PSG and Napoli, and Uruguay for that matter, looks like he could be leaving PSG fans to adore Neymar and Mbappe alone. A return to Napoli has been rumored, though some reports would have you believe that he has become Real Madrid's #1 target. I mean, I can only see this happening if Real can get him for a much better price than they could do with Robert Lewandowski, which they might be able to pull off. With their signing style lately though, it's obvious that Real Madrid is looking to invest in young talent over spending on big boys, on established talent. Their last Galacticos-style signing was James Rodriguez in 2014, 4 summers ago. Plus, there's been many rumors and apparent sources, mega quotation marks on the sources here, that have said Florentino Perez won't be adding any top tier players to the squad this summer, instead believing in who they already have, with the likes of Asensio, Isco, and Bale all being entrusted with bringing success to the club. Me personally, I think that that is the most likely situation for Real Madrid this summer. They have talent on their bench that deserves a chance at regular football, but I wouldn't say that's the exact situation they have in the striker position, so what would you do? Look to Lewandowski if Lewandowski really even does want to leave Bayern Munich, or perhaps try to go for the likely cheaper option of 31-year-old Edinson Cavani, who has, as I said, great goal-scoring records. 104 and 138 appearances for Napoli and 170 and 245 appearances for PSG. Or maybe you give Benzema another chance and hope that players like Asensio and Isco will thrive with their potentially new and improved roles within the starting 11. Tough call. And according to Sid Lowe, who is the La Liga specialist for ESPN among other sources, he claims that Madrid won't spend this summer and will go for Neymar next season. I believe that sounds rather legit, Sid. Oh hey, here's a quick update on the Bonucci situation. It's looking as if his rumored move from AC Milan back to Juventus could have some truth to it, as he was removed from the promotional materials from their USA tour just yesterday. Bonucci no longer features on their Devils in USA posters, which just adds further fuel to the fire that the Bianconeri could be working on a deal for the 30-year-old. Man, what a failed move to AC Milan that was, if this really is the end of his time with the club. My goodness. Some say that Higuain is going in the other direction, which could still be a possibility, though Higuain apparently prefers to stay in Turin, but could move for an improved paycheck. Don't you love football? Speaking of players who moved for a much better paycheck, Axel Witsel apparently had a medical with Borussia Dortmund today to finalize a 20 million euro deal that brings him from Chinese club Tianjin Huanjian. The main source on the news is Belgian outlet RTBF, who claimed that after this rumor had been marinating for a while, they had confirmed it on Sunday. Witsel was one of my favorite players at Benfica for the brief time that he was with the club, so it disappointed me to see him leave to Zenit St. Petersburg for a pay increase, and then to go ahead and leave Europe completely to go and play in China for another pay increase. He's 29 now, so by no means at the end of his career, and he still starts in Belgium's midfield quite frequently. But I want to see what he's capable of in Europe. A team like Borussia Dortmund seems like it could be a good fit for him, though there are some who say that the move is further off than we should believe, given that there were some problems with his medical today, apparently. And I mean, I don't know how true that is. I don't know how trustworthy the source is, Christophe Terrer, though he did also say that Witsel was keen to join. I think this move will happen, and if it does, I'll be excited to see Witsel back in Europe. Man, a lot of you are probably like, why does this dude have so much love for a relatively random Belgian? I mean, he made a mark on me when he was at Benfica for the one season he was with us, okay? Now, keeping on with Borussia Dortmund, the oh-so-coveted Christian Pulisic, the hope of America, the dollar store version of Alphonso Davies. I'm kidding, chill. Well, Mr. Pulisic has reportedly called off all contract negotiations with Borussia Dortmund. The Sky Sports report on the matter is where the news really spread, but it originated from a report by Bild, a credible source on matters regarding the big teams in Germany. Now, the somewhat scary part for Borussia fans is that this report comes just a couple of days after a story broke that Borussia Dortmund likely won't be selling Pulisic, as they won't even bother considering offers unless they're at least 70 million euros. I personally don't think that Pulisic is really angling for a move away from Dortmund, as I think that he's quite happy to stay there, though his head has undoubtedly been turned by the attention that he has been given by teams like Chelsea and Liverpool. With Chelsea, a new manager that wants to implement a style of football that works perfectly for a shifty player like Pulisic, that's an enticing offer and no doubt flattering to hear of their interest. And with Liverpool, it's arguably even more exciting of an offer. A team that is investing heavily in their squad, showing that they have ambition for silverware and the personnel to do it. With Klopp at the helm, though he hasn't been good in finals for Liverpool, it has to be noted. And then the star-studded attack that boasts the likes of Salah, Firmino, and Mane, where a couple of them have just locked down new contracts, their revamped midfield, goalkeeping position, and the fact that they made the Champions League final last season. Liverpool seems more like a team on the up due to the momentum Klopp is building and their vast investments being made. They're not the final product yet, of course. At least more so on the up than Chelsea in this moment, I would say. That said, I do kind of hope for his own sake that he sticks around with Dortmund at least for one more season before he moves abroad. He's still only 19 years old, so a move to a big club, Dortmund is a big club, so I mean a move to an even bigger club will happen for him. And for a young star to break from the norm and perhaps not rush things, stay with the club where things are going well for you for another season or two, and then evaluate your options, that would be very refreshing to see. Now, one of the reasons why Pulisic to Chelsea in particular could be on hold financially is their unwillingness to dish out cash for Pulisic before the sale of Willian is guaranteed. Willian has been linked with a move away from Chelsea all summer, with Barcelona and Manchester United coming up as the main potential destinations for the 29-year-old. I thought that Willian had a pretty decent World Cup actually. He definitely did help his case when it came to sort of showing off his goods. Know what I mean? Give him a little amuse-bouche, as they say en français. Now, Tutto Sport said a few days ago that Chelsea accepted a 75 million euro bid from Manchester United. But, I mean, that's Tutto Sport saying this, the same paper that wrote stories about Messi going to Inter Milan. Check in with your sources, people. More and more news agencies are now reporting that Willian could be going to Real Madrid as part of a 100 million-ish pound package that would see his homie Thibaut Courtois going along with him. I'm sure Courtois would be ecstatic about the move, even if he didn't get to go with Eden Hazard, whom he said must follow him wherever he goes. But I think that Chelsea probably feels that they will simply only sell Willian if the right offer comes along. If some teams want to pay the ridiculous asking price of around £66 million or 75 million euros, then so be it. That's a great payday for Chelsea. But they also know that Willian can be a devastating attacker when he is on his game for Chelsea, and at various points over the last few seasons, he's been their top performer. So they would probably be more than happy just to hang on to him. I can't see Sarri looking at a player like Willian and thinking, this guy doesn't work, he has to go. Now, whether Willian wants the move is another question, and I personally think that he'll feel as indifferent to it as Chelsea do to selling him. And finally, let's talk a little bit about the Grumpy Ones team and how they are still on the hunt for a new center back. By the way, the reason why I call Mourinho the Grumpy One is down to his comments after United's loss against Liverpool, where he made it adamantly clear that the players he had on the tour with him in the United States will not be playing for him during the season. Nice. I'm sure they all loved hearing that. But anyways, apparently in their search for a center back, they have gone from Alderweireld to Harry Maguire, and now to Barcelona's somewhat reject, Yerry Mina. Mina moved to Barcelona just last January for 11.8 million euros, I believe, but he also only made 5 appearances for the club, failing to impress along the way. So, after a strong showing at the World Cup in which he dominated set pieces and got some goals along the way, United are apparently willing to quadruple the value of Barcelona's original Mina investment, offering Barcelona around 40 million euros for the Colombian. If this is true, then to me it spells trouble for United a little bit. Another physically dominant center back, though somewhat erratic defensively. They already have center backs exactly like this, and I don't really see Mina as a massive improvement on Bailly, Smalling, Lindelof, Rojo, etc. I'm not saying he's a bad signing, just that he doesn't change a lot of their back line once you factor in the potential blooding in process and everything else that comes with getting used to the Premier League. But, my friends, that's it for today. I feel like I rambled a bit at times today, but hey, that's what these transfer videos are for. You take in the info, you process it, and then you tell me how you feel about it, just as I did for you. It's a two-way street here, people. It's not just about what I think. So yeah, comment below. Let's talk. Other than that, be sure to drop a like on this video if you liked it and enjoyed it. Maybe consider hitting that subscribe button if you're new here and want to see more of our other videos like FIFA content, football concept explainer videos, like the sporting disaster, etc., player bios, and more. I'm Adrian. Thanks for checking in with me today, and we'll see you later. Peace.